You need to stop asking the universe for signs, and you need to stop now. If you're seeing repeating numbers, looking for white feathers, or waiting for any kind of external confirmation, you're doing everything wrong. And the silence you're receiving in response is not accidental. It's a deliberate action. According to the ancient teachings of Thoth, the scribe of the gods, you haven't been abandoned. You've been blocked. That's right. There's an active blockage in your life, but that's not the most shocking part. The shocking part is that the universe didn't block you. You blocked yourself. There's a hidden mechanism in your own mind, a counter-intention that sabotages every request you make. And in this video, I'm going to reveal exactly how this mechanism works and how to deactivate it. Stay with me until the end, because in this video, we're going to unravel the mechanism of counter-intention. I'll show you how you might be, without realizing it, neutralizing your own desires, and how Thoth taught to dissolve these barriers so that reality can flow again. Let's move from the position of waiting for a sign to taking the place of creating the path. To begin this transformation, if you could remove a single obstacle from your mind today, what would it be? Share your story below in your own words. Naming the blockage is the first step to overcoming it. The universe is not only stranger than we imagine, it is stranger than we can imagine. Have you ever felt like the universe stopped responding to you? That feeling of a door closing and you being left outside in the cold. Signs that once seemed to guide you, like seeing the same time on the clock or finding a white feather exactly when you needed an answer the most, have simply vanished. The sky, which once seemed like an accomplice on your journey, a silent confidant, is now just an impenetrable, empty and indifferent blue. You look up expecting something, anything, but all you get back is a deep, deafening silence that echoes inside you. This silence is not divine punishment, nor a sign that you did something wrong on your path. On the contrary, it is the first step in a transformation so profound and radical that most people cannot endure it. They give up before even understanding what is happening, believing they have been abandoned, or that they have lost connection. But what you interpret as abandonment is, in fact, a forced invitation to look inward. It is the universe pushing you to discover an invisible mechanism that operates behind the scenes of your own mind, a system that has sabotaged you your entire life. Think of it as a great magic trick happening right under your nose. Your conscious mind, the part of you that asks, that prays, that looks for signs, is like the hand the magician shows to the audience. It's there, in plain sight, gesturing, begging for a miracle, desperate for external confirmation. You focus so much on that hand, on that request, that you don't notice the other hand, the one that's hidden, acting in the shadows. And it's that hidden hand that truly defines the outcome of the trick, that defines what happens in your reality. That hidden hand lies deep within your psyche, in the folds of your subconscious. While you ask for abundance, it firmly holds the belief that money is hard to come by. While you seek love, it guards the fear of rejection. You are so preoccupied with the act of asking, with the performance of your faith, that you don't perceive the real weight you carry. And the universe, being an intelligence that is not deceived by appearances, does not respond to your show, but rather to what is truly hidden within you, what you feel without even realizing it. What you feel as an external blockage, as an absence of response from the divine, is actually a direct reflection of this internal contradiction. The silence that drives you crazy doesn't come from outside, It's the echo of your own division. It's a call for you to stop looking to the sky and start investigating the depths of your own consciousness. It's an invitation to unveil the greatest secret of your existence, the power you yourself use to sabotage yourself, without even knowing you're doing it. The journey to break the silence begins by exposing this truth. This transformation requires you to stop being a spectator of your own life, waiting for magic to happen. It forces you to become the magician yourself, to understand how the trick works. Silence is the moment when the show stops, the lights come on, and you are invited backstage. And there, you will discover that the hand that asks and the hand that hides belong to the same person. You. The question is, why is one of your hands secretly working against the other, hiding the secret that could change everything? That hand that acts in the shadows, hidden from your own consciousness, is the key to understanding why the universe seems to have fallen silent. Imagine a magician on stage. He is a master of distraction. All eyes in the audience are fixed on his right hand, which moves with elegance, promising a miracle, begging for attention. In your life, that right hand represents your positive affirmations, your fervent prayers, your desperate pleas for a sign, for proof that you are on the right path. It is your conscious effort to manifest a new reality. But the real magic, the secret of the trick, never happens where everyone is looking. It happens in the left hand, the hand that remains hidden, discreet, almost motionless. In your case, that left hand is hidden in the deepest folds of your own mind, in your subconscious. It is the one that holds the true weight of your vibration, the naked truth about what you truly believe. It is the one that carries the persistent doubt, the paralyzing fear of scarcity, the ingrained belief that deep down you are not worthy of receiving what you so desperately ask for. The universe is not a naive audience that is easily fooled by pretty gestures and rehearsed words. It is an intelligent energy field that responds to the actual frequency you emit, not to the show you put on. It reads your vibration, not your lips. Therefore, it doesn't respond to your right hand, which asks for a miracle, but rather to your left hand, which secretly holds the certainty of lack. By asking for a sign, you are, without realizing it, sending a powerful message to the quantum field. This is not here yet, I need proof. This attitude of seeking external confirmation is an act of disbelief disguised as faith. Paradoxically, you are shouting to the universe that you doubt. You are reinforcing the energetic distance between your desire and your current reality. Think about it. You don't ask for a sign to confirm that you are breathing, you simply breathe. Certainty doesn't need validation. The incessant search for signs is a silent confession that you don't truly believe you already possess, or are capable of possessing what you desire. This contradiction between what you say you want and what you truly feel creates a vibrational dissonance, a kind of energetic short circuit. It's like trying to tune into a radio station while simultaneously generating interference that prevents the signal from arriving clearly. This barrier that you yourself create becomes so dense and real that the light of manifestation, the universe's response, simply cannot penetrate. You become trapped in a cycle of seeking that feeds on your own lack, without understanding that the key to the prison is in your other hand. And the most dangerous thing is that this left hand, the one that hides the secret, operates on autopilot. It's formed by all the beliefs you've absorbed throughout your life, by all the unresolved traumas, by all the voices that told you you weren't good enough. It acts without your conscious permission, sabotaging your best efforts. And until you bring this hand into the light and look at what it truly holds, you will remain an amateur magician, surprised by your own flawed trick, without understanding that the invisible architecture of your own doubt is what projects your reality. The hand that hides the secret builds a fortress around itself, and the bricks of that fortress are made of doubt. But doubt is not just a fleeting thought of uncertainty, as many believe. It is much deeper and more structural. It functions as an invisible architecture, a foundation that supports your entire system of blockages. Every time you hesitate, every time you question your ability or your worthiness, you are placing another brick in that wall that separates you from your desires, making it higher and more solid each day. Think about the structure of a sentence. When you ask the universe, "Please show me a blue butterfly if I should accept this job," the very formulation of your request already carries the seed of failure. The word introduces the possibility of no into the quantum field. You are not stating a certainty, you are proposing a condition. You are essentially saying to reality, "There are two possibilities, yes and no, and I don't know which one is true." You are injecting the frequency of uncertainty into the very reality you are trying to shape. Absolute certainty, on the other hand, operates in a completely different way. It doesn't need external proof, because it is the proof itself. You don't wake up in the morning and ask for a sign to know if the sun has risen while feeling its warmth on your face and seeing the light coming through the window. Internal evidence, direct experience, makes asking for confirmation meaningless, even ridiculous. True faith is not believing you will receive, it's feeling that you have already received, even if your eyes don't yet see it. The blockage you feel, this silence from the universe, is the crystallization of all your accumulated hesitation. Every doubt, every fear, every what if it doesn't work out, condenses and forms a dense mass of energy, a kind of dark cloud hovering over you. This cloud acts as an energetic counter-intention, a subconscious command that actively works against your conscious desires. While you pray for prosperity, this cloud whispers you will fail again, and the universe responds to the whisper, not to the prayer. As long as your mind is fragmented, divided between the desire to receive and the deep fear of being ignored once again, your energy will be scattered. Imagine trying to fill a bucket with a hose full of holes. The water, representing your creative energy, leaks out from all sides and never has enough force to fill the bucket. Similarly, your energy, divided by doubt, lacks the necessary power to collapse the wave of quantum possibilities into a single tangible and solid reality. This architecture of doubt is subtle because it disguises itself as rational thought, prudence, and realism. Society has taught us to doubt, to question everything as a sign of intelligence. But in the mechanics of creating reality, doubt is not intelligence, it is interference. It is the noise that prevents the music from being heard, and the worst part is that this structure feeds on an emotional addiction that most of us don't even know we have, an addiction that keeps us chained to the future and prevents us from living in the only place where power exists, the now. The architecture of doubt is sustained by one of the most subtle and socially accepted traps of all, the addiction to hope. From childhood, we have been taught to see hope as a supreme virtue. the light at the end of the tunnel, the last thing to die. But in the mechanics of manifestation, in the physics of creating reality, hope can be its sweetest poison. It is dangerous because it projects your happiness, your peace, and your fulfillment onto a future that is always one step ahead, a future that never arrives. To live in hope is to constantly live in a state of, I don't have it yet. When you say, I hope to get that job, or I hope to find great love, you are energetically affirming that, in the present moment, you don't have the job, and you don't have the love. You anchor your state of being in the frequency of lack, of absence. Hope becomes a carrot dangling in front of you, making you walk endlessly, but never allowing you to take a bite. You get used to the journey of the search, not the arrival. This cycle creates a real neurochemical addiction. The anticipation of something good releases dopamine in the brain, the neurotransmitter of pleasure and motivation. Waiting for the sign, waiting for change, waiting for the miracle becomes more chemically rewarding than the actual achievement. You become addicted to the thrill of the chase, not the serenity of possession. The spiritual journey, which should be about self-knowledge and power, transforms into an eternal game of hide and seek with the divine, where the search is its own reward. By living in the mindset of when I receive the sign, I will be happy, or when I manifest this, my life will begin, you surrender all your creative power to time. You become a hostage of the future, forgetting a fundamental truth. The universe understands neither past nor future. It only knows and operates in the now. All your strength, all your capacity to create and transform exists only in this exact present moment. Hope robs you of the now and throws you into a limbo of endless waiting. In this scenario, the blockage you feel is actually a reflection of the comfort you find in the victim role of waiting. It's easier to wait for external salvation than to take full responsibility for your own reality. Having what you desire would require the sober responsibility of maintaining this new reality, of dealing with the new challenges it would bring. Waiting is a comfort zone disguised as suffering, because in it, the blame is never yours. The blame lies with the universe that doesn't respond, with time that doesn't pass. True transmutation, the real breaking of the blockage, occurs when hope is replaced by full presence and certainty. The wise person doesn't wait, they are. They don't wait to be rich to feel prosperous, they feel prosperous, and wealth appears as a natural reflection. By exchanging hope for the certainty of the now, you dissolve the barrier of time that separates you from your goal. And it is at that moment that you realize that the universe wasn't ignoring you. It was simply showing you an exact reflection of your own inner state. If hope keeps you trapped in the future, what does the silence of the universe show you in the present? It shows you the stark truth through an implacable universal principle, a law that never fails. What is inside is like what is outside. Your external reality, the world you experience with your five senses, is not something separate from you. It is a high-fidelity mirror that reflects, with absolute precision, the state of your inner microcosm, the universe that exists within your own mind and heart. If your inner world is saturated with mental noise, with anxious thoughts jumping from one thing to another, with a frantic need for external validation and approval, what do you think the mirror will reflect? It will give you back exactly that. The universe will respond with a confusing reality, full of inexplicable delays, misunderstandings, and finally, when the internal noise becomes deafening, It responds with silence. A silence that is not absence, but an answer in itself. This cosmic silence is, therefore, the most brutal and honest mirror you will ever find. It doesn't lie, it doesn't flatter, it doesn't try to please you. It simply reflects back to you the exact image of your own mental and emotional disorder. It shows you the chaos you carry inside, trying to force the appearance of external signs like desperately searching for repeating numbers or synchronicities, without first tidying up the internal mess, is like trying to clean a stain on your reflection in the mirror, instead of cleaning the stain on your own face. It's like being the operator of a movie projector. If the projector lens is dirty, dusty, or scratched, the image projected on the screen will inevitably be dirty, dusty, and scratched. You can yell at the screen, you can try to clean it, you can get frustrated with the image quality, but nothing will change until you turn your attention to the source of the problem, the projector lens. Your mind, your beliefs, and your vibrational frequency are the lens through which you project your reality. When the universe stops responding, it's not punishing you. It's actually doing you a huge favor. It's inviting you, or rather forcing you, to stop looking at the screen and finally look at the projector. It's directing you to the only place where true change can happen, the only place where the answer you so desperately seek can be generated, the center of your own being. The answer isn't in the sky, it isn't in the oracles, it isn't in the signs. The answer lies in your own frequency. Understanding this is the beginning of the end of your suffering. You stop fighting against the reflection and start working on the real object. You stop blaming the world and take responsibility for your own vibration. Silence ceases to be a frightening enemy and becomes an accurate diagnosis, a map that shows you exactly where healing is needed. And by accepting this diagnosis, you begin to realize that your interaction with the universe works in a very similar way to the systems you already know, like a complex and impersonal algorithm. If the universe is a mirror, then its workings can be understood as a complex and perfectly logical algorithm. We live in a digital age, and this analogy helps us demystify ancestral processes. Think of the universe as an invisible operating system, a code that governs reality, responding to specific commands. This algorithm doesn't judge, it has no emotions. It doesn't decide who deserves it or not. It simply processes the data it receives and delivers a corresponding result. And the data it processes is your vibrational frequency. When you feel blocked, ignored, abandoned by the divine, your natural and human reaction is frustration, anger, anxiety, and despair. You increase the volume of your complaints, feeling like a victim of an unjust system. The problem is that this low vibration, this frequency of despair, is interpreted by the cosmic algorithm as a command. You are essentially typing into the universe's search field more reasons to feel desperate and blocked. And the algorithm, efficient as it is, delivers exactly that to you. The hidden block that sabotages you is not an external force, but rather your own reactive state. It's your struggle against the system, your feeling of being a frustrated mystic, a wronged seeker. Every time you react angrily to silence, you reinforce that silence. You enter a negative feedback loop. You feel bad because things don't work out, and things don't work out because you feel bad. You feed the monster that haunts you without realizing that the food is your own negative energy. The solution, therefore, is not to fight against the laws of reality, but rather to understand its programming and begin to operate within it with mastery. It's like learning the programming language of a software program so that, instead of being a frustrated user, you become a developer capable of creating what you want. You need to stop reacting to what the algorithm shows you and start giving it clear and intentional commands. You need to change the input in order to change the output. Silence within this logic is not a system failure or a bug. On the contrary, it is an essential safety protocol. Imagine the chaos that would ensue if the universe instantly manifested all desires born from fear, anger, or incoherence. If every thought of revenge or every fear of an accident immediately became reality, existence would be unsustainable. Silence is a buffer, a waiting period that protects you from yourself, preventing your lowest emotional states from creating more chaos in your life. Therefore, the algorithm hasn't blocked you. It's simply responding to your incoherence with a safety pause. It's waiting for a clear command, a clean and focused vibration. It's waiting for you to stop sending mixed signals of desire and doubt. And this pause, this vacuum that seems so frightening, is actually the greatest gift you could receive. It's a blank space, a unique opportunity for you to stop being a reactive user and finally assume your role as the programmer of your own existence. This blank space, this silence that the algorithm offers you, is what many spiritual traditions call the dark night of the soul. But this expression is often misinterpreted as a period of pure, meaningless suffering. In fact, it's the opposite. The silence you are experiencing now is a fertile vacuum, a blank page offered by the divine so that you can finally stop copying the stories of others and begin to write your own. It is the end of your dependence and the beginning of your sovereignty. For a long time, perhaps for your entire life, you behaved like a spiritual child. You depended on external signs like a child depends on training wheels on a bicycle. The repeating numbers, the feathers, the synchronicities, all of this served to give you confidence, to show you that magic was real. But no child learns to truly balance while the training wheels are there. There comes a time when a good parent, or in this case, a wise universe, needs to remove those supports, even if the child cries and feels fear. The universe, in its infinite pedagogical wisdom, removes the training wheels so that you learn to walk on your own, so that you discover your own inner balance. It forces you to stop looking at the ground for proof and finally look ahead to the path you yourself must create. This phase of apparent darkness is the necessary vacuum so that your new identity, the identity of a conscious creator, can emerge without the crutches of external validation, without the need for applause or confirmation. The blockage you felt wasn't the universe preventing you from moving forward. The blockage was, in fact, your own refusal to grow. It was your refusal to let go of the training wheels, to accept the pen and assume the role of protagonist and scribe of your own existence. It was more comfortable to be the passenger complaining about the direction than the driver taking responsibility for the steering wheel. The silence forces you to take the wheel, even if your hands tremble with fear at first. By embracing silence instead of fighting against it, something miraculous happens. You stop being a beggar for miracles, someone who looks to the sky with outstretched hands, and become the architect of your own reality. You stop searching for open doors and realize that you always had the keys to build your own. The emptiness that once frightened you transforms into a space of deliberate creation, a blank canvas where you can paint the masterpiece that is your life. You begin to understand that the dark night wasn't about darkness, but about the absence of distractions. It was the universe placing you in a silent room so that you could finally hear your own inner voice, the voice of your soul, the voice of the Creator that dwells within you. And upon hearing that voice, you realize that perhaps not all silence is a block to be overcome. Sometimes silence is a message in itself, a form of protection that your conscious mind cannot yet comprehend. What if the silence you interpret as a blockage or a failure on your part is actually a form of protection? What if this lack of response is the manifestation of a much greater wisdom, an act of mercy that your conscious mind, with its limited vision, cannot yet comprehend? Not all silence is an invitation to force your way through. Sometimes it is a stop sign, a divine veto placed in your path for your own good, even if it seems frustrating in the present moment. There are moments in your journey.
And now you understand why the universe went silent. Not because it abandoned you, not because you failed, but because you reached the moment where signs would only slow you down. Thoth taught that signs are for the uninitiated mind. Silence is for those ready to act. When you constantly ask for confirmation, you are telling the universe you do not trust the intelligence it already placed within you. And the universe responds to trust, not desperation. So it stopped whispering, it stopped repeating itself, it stopped pointing. Because the next step was never outside of you. Silence is not emptiness. Silence is compression. It is power being concentrated. Every ancient initiate reached this threshold, the moment where guidance ended and embodiment began, where waiting became the true obstacle, where hesitation replaced faith. This is the phase where manifestation no longer responds to prayer. It responds to movement. If you feel lost right now, understand this. You are not disconnected. You are uninterrupted. No more signs, no more cosmic hints, no more external permission. The universe is watching to see if you will move without applause, if you will choose without reassurance, if you will become the signal instead of searching for one. Because when you act from alignment, reality follows. The silence is not the end of guidance. It is the beginning of mastery. And now, the universe is waiting on you.